Let's take a look at how some of the roads are looking this afternoon, as we've seen a pretty large lull in terms of the precipitation at the moment, and even got to see a little bit of sunshine. That's boosted our temperatures up into the low 20s. Wind chills 7 degrees, so looking much better compared to this morning. The good news is, if you're going to be heading out on the roads, at least right now, roads aren't too bad, but we are going to be watching, especially by the time we get later into this afternoon, because, well, our first weather day is going to continue for a different reason now. This morning the main concern was the wind chills, but what has changed is of this point, wind chills not really much of a concern, as we're already starting to see them rise up even out of the single digits at this point. The main concern at this point is going to be our lake effect chances as we go throughout the rest of the afternoon, expecting to see a little bit more significant lake effect snow, especially if you're farther up north, or at least north of US 30 is really where we've been pinpointing that area to watch as we go throughout the rest of this afternoon. So those main concerns: blowing snow and some slick spots. Now, really, why is blowing snow a concern? Well, actually, I took a video last night of some of the blowing snow that we saw around about 9:30 or so. And you can see, even though there's not much snow on the ground, when you factor in the wind and just the snow blowing around, there were some pretty large flakes, decreases visibility very quickly. And of course, not only that, then afterwards, you will probably start to see at least a couple slick spots on the roadways that kind of go hand in hand. So make sure to really watch out if you are going to be heading up for especially farther north. Now, the good news is that our wind gusts are not going to be anything like what we saw yesterday, where winds maxed out in terms of the wind gusts in Van Wert at 50 miles an hour, even here in Fort Wayne, 45 miles an hour. So pretty much exactly where we were expecting them to be, between that 40 to 45 range. In some cases, even a little bit better from some of those wind gusts. So right now, we are watching to see at least some starts of lake effect bands reaching their way into some parts of 21 country. Not just yet entirely, but especially if you're driving a little bit further north, you are going to start to experience that. But we do expect to see some of those bands start to push a little bit further south as we get later into the afternoon, which could give us, even here in Fort Wayne, a chance to see maybe 1 or 2 bands of snow showers start to move across the area. And of course, when you factor in those wind gusts, which will be more along the lines of about 30 to 35 mile an hour gusts compared to the 45 mile an hour gusts we saw yesterday, still will be significant enough to create some blowing snow to reduce visibility and, of course, create some slick spots on the roadways. The good news is, after we get through the rest of the night tonight, we actually will see some sunshine tomorrow. Be very nice, just a little bit cold. So we do have some things to look forward to as we go into the day tomorrow, but we do have to get through at least a couple more tenths of an inch, maybe closer towards about an inch or so of snow still remaining for the rest of this afternoon, continuing maybe very briefly overnight into tomorrow, with those winter storm warning and winter weather advisories expiring at 1 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. But the good news is wind gusts will start to die out as we get later into the night, dropping all the way down below 20 miles per hour, even by about 6 or 7 o'clock tonight. So there is going to be some good news. But those wind chills still will be cold, just not as cold as this morning. We're going to look more like the teens as we go throughout the rest of this afternoon. High temperatures only expected into the mid to upper 20s. Now, as we take a look here at your first alert extended forecast, what we do expect to see is at least some warming conditions, temperatures back up towards 50, some rain showers next week. But overall, I'll take 50 and raining on Monday compared to the 20s and snowing that we're seeing today.
Yeah, a lot of fans of snow out there for sure. I have a dear friend in Burns. She loves the snow. When the cold, though, gets dangerous, that's not good for anybody.
Yeah, when you mix them all together, and we talked about it yesterday, the wind, the snow, and the cold, yeah, that's a bit too much.
Well, there's something for everybody in the forecast for sure. Michael, thank you. And still ahead at noon, everyone.